Hi guys, so just departing back for the Klang Valley from Proton City, and I was just here earlier to witness the first rollout of the locally assembled Proton X70. Alright, so yeah, you can say that this was the moment that many people have been waiting for, yet at the same time it was also an event where from which I have precious little, basically nothing to tell you other than the fact that Proton has begun making the X70 here in Tanjung Malim. That's it. Okay, so it was a no camera event. We arrived here at about 4:30. Then we were taken by bus. Our cameras were sealed. Taken by bus to the factory. We witnessed some VIP speeches and saw the X70 come out and of the production line. That was it. Okay, we were not told what the prices are. We were not told what specs or whatnot. But from what I saw of the car that rolled out, and I really only got to saw one car, it looks exactly the same as the ones that are currently sold here, as the CBU versions that are currently being sold. Okay, I know there are rumors online that says that there will be a 1.5 liter turbocharged variant using a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. That news unfortunately is unverified. So until the car actually launches, I can't tell you whether they will be introducing a new powertrain option, or will they be sticking with the existing 1.8 liter turbo engine that is already serving the X70 well enough. Okay, there's also no indication of price point whatsoever, but in my personal opinion, I don't think it will drop by much, if at all. You may see a slight decrease in price, but they won't go that far down, because they still have to maintain space in their lineup for their B segment SUV, which are widely reported to be called the X50. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it. But one thing, one little snippet of info that you may be interested to know is that the X70 is rolling out from a completely new extension of the plant. So it's a completely new building, still within the Tanjung Malim complex, but a completely new building that was constructed, according to the press release, constructed at a cost of 1.2 billion ringgit. So it is a dedicated facility to make the X70 and perhaps any future geely developed Proton model. And they also discussed some plans moving forward, that which we already know, all right, that moving forward they will be exporting the X70 from Malaysia into various right-hand drive markets. The graphics that they show us, that they put on display, show they will be exporting this car to UK, to Australia, even South Africa, all the right-hand drive markets in the world, basically, that you can think of. They did highlight that yesterday, all right, on December 12th, was the day that they launched the X70 in Malaysia last year, all right, and quite rightly, in the space of 1 year, the X70 has been the model that transformed Proton's fortunes. Because you see, before this, Proton sales have been for many years on steady decline. And I remember when they were doing all those pre-launch teaser campaigns, showing us about the X70, Bobby asked them, Proton is already struggling to compete in the in the sub 100k segments. Why are they being so ambitious to go into such a premium price point without first building the brand? And Dr. Lee Chun Rong's answer at that time was that he turned his body around and said this. He pointed at X70 and said, this car will build my brand. And true enough, 1 year on, he has been proven right. The X70 has indeed turned around consumer sentiment on Proton. So Proton no longer has that that beaten image about them, that downcast image about them, that pariah image about them. There is now a bounce in Proton that, you know, even though the X70 is no longer their top selling model, it has spurred enough, and you know, and it has sufficiently improved the brand image, and in conjunction with improved versions of the Saga, Exora, Iris, and Persona, they are inching their way back up the sales chart, and they are on track to hit 100,000 sales by the time 2019 closes. Just now they were flashing the chart. In 2018, they did below 70,000 sales. So to effect such a big jump in sales, all right, that is quite something, all right. And yeah, so even though it is still the lower bread and butter models that are the main earners for the brand, there is no doubt that it is the X70, the halo effect created by the X70, that has helped recharge the brand's image. Okay, and we've driven the car. We absolutely will testify to you, it is a properly world-class product. I've said it before in a few times that, you know, when I inspected the car up close, a few areas which I looked at and I felt, hey, you know, Proton could have cut costs, or Geely, they could have cut costs in this area, but they didn't. They went the extra mile to put in that finer detail to make the whole product look and feel more premium, more desirable. Yeah, and you see, and the other thing about the X70 also is that it has managed to position itself as a car that rich people are not ashamed to drive. It has managed to, in a way, make itself a car that with an appeal that now transcends class. I mean, people from Proton were telling me that for the first time, you know, they visited their 3S and 4S dealers after the X70 launch. They were seeing BMW 5 Series. They were seeing Alphats. They were seeing Wellfires in the customer parking lot. Which is something that they've never dealt with before for a long time. Rich people were looking at the X70 and seeing it as a viable product, a viable product to suit their lifestyle, their status, which is quite something. Okay, so yeah, I can't tell you when the CKD X70 is going to be launched, but seeing how things tend to move at a turbocharged pace for Proton under Geely's watch, I would say you can expect to see the car on the roads pretty soon.